Hi guys, here we go for Mta4 gearbox teardown part 2. See what we'll find. Stripped it the last time, replaced the pins on the main shaft. There were slightly smaller pins in diameter, they weren't the correct ones, so I'm assuming that as soon as I went to use it again they've broken. So if it seems like your clutch is slipping and there's no drive or whatever, it's either your diff or there's something wrong in the gearbox. So we're going to strip this one down anyway, just for anybody that's interested or hasn't done it before. Totally layman's terms, all that kind of stuff. It's not going to be any technical stuff, it's just a guy at home fixing stuff the same as you will be. Okay, so let's do it. A cup of tea. It's brought. So previously in the last video I took the back case off, checked the bezel gears in here and they were absolutely fine. Put new cog and everything on it. This is actually the first gen gearbox. It normally comes with a white cog, but I've used this one instead. I believe this one's a 46 and the other one's possibly a 42. So we'll get it apart anyway. We'll see what's what. So I want to get the correct size screwdriver. It's a 2.0 if I believe right. My 2.0 is actually a little bit worn, so don't try and go at these pins if your tools are worn or they're not great. Just get something better, because you will strip them and they're a nightmare. So we'll go for a set of buckles. And they're pretty decent for the money. They're only about 15 quid, so 2.0. A bit slack as well, so it's probably the pin. I remember putting these back on the last time, and I used stud lock on them because they're prone for coming loose. So that one started, I believe, unless it slipped, but I don't think it did. It's tight because it's got the stud lock on it. I'm not too sure if I'm going to actually have to take the front one out, because I'm just going to take the rear of the gearbox off and try and do what I do with just the back off. So hopefully it's just this one, because that stud lock is well in there. I didn't expect to strip it again, to be honest with you. You can see the stud lock is the purple stuff, so it's not like using the red Loctite. Alright, that's starting to come out now. That's why I didn't go for the 2.0 on the end of there. This has actually lost the profile. So anyway, so that will come out. That'll come out as a pin. You can see the Loctite on it there, and then it slides off. It's quite tight. Where'd you go? So that's that one off. Put it to the side. I can leave all that on at the moment. Just take the back side off and we'll see what's going on. I believe all these screws are all the same size. Tell you in a minute. Can't remember, it's been a bit. Normally when I'm dismantling, I'll just use the electric screwdriver. I don't reassemble with the electric, but I dismantle with it, and I'll put it back together with just a basic screwdriver, basic tool. And you can actually see it splitting already. There's nothing crazy in here that you'll not manage to put back together. Don't worry about it. Also, just to mention that the Mta4 gearbox is a dry gearbox, so I've seen people lubing them and stuff and things like that. I'm not saying that a general little bit of lube doesn't go amiss, just on the very ends of the shafts where the bearings and stuff go together. You know, but like a what would you call it? Like a white grease type thing, a thicker grease rather than like a normal grease, because it just melts off and goes all over the place. So I've got that. You take that out, everything stays in place. Yeah. Let's just set that down a second. So that's your, what'll come from Thunder Tiger, and it's literally just a little spray. I believe I tried and I put a little bit on the teeth last time. It looks like it's just sprayed all over the place, so it's going to have to be completely cleaned out now. I'll just chew those gears up eventually with all the debris. So there's nothing really much to see. That's the back of the gearbox. Bezel drive is in there. So if you lift the 2-speed up, this is the bit that I'm interested in. Yeah, if you lift 2-speed up, take that pin out, take that sleeve off, and then pull this gear down. So there you go. That's the pin that was broken last time, and I've replaced it, so both pins are actually in good condition. The only thing I can think of is there's a one-way bearing in here, and I believe it's pressed in, is it? Well, there's a one-way bearing in here, and I believe that's where the slippage comes from. And that's your 2-speed, if anybody didn't know. Which doesn't seem very tight for some odd reason. Why is there so much movement on that? What the hell? Let's set this down for a second, so just put that aside for a second. So you've got this screw here, which adjusts the ball tension on your 2-speed transmission. And this one's really tight. This throws out. I don't really have anything small enough here. Small enough? Yeah, so this screw here creates spring tension with a little ball on the end, and then when you get up to a certain speed, centrifugal force throws this piece out and it locks to the pin inside the 2-speed transmission, therefore engaging the 2nd speed. And that's how basic that is, just in case you were wondering. Put a debris in it. It does appear to be tight though. The screw. I'm gonna get my cup of tea all dirty now. Yeah, so I don't know if someone's been in there before, but that seems rounded. I'm just trying to clear out some crap that's in there so I can get a good bite on it. screwdriver. There you go. There's stuff coming out of it now. The joys of RC. A lot of debris in there, look. Just clean out that hole. Clean out that hole. I mean, you can see the movement, but never actually looked into it before to see if it was normal or not. But that's screws foobarred. So I've managed to get the screw tight, so there's no more movement. Right, this is where you get stuck between a rock and a hard place, because I want to take this out and replace this grub screw, but do you know something, for the life of me, I don't think I have one. I have others, but I don't want to take it out and then not be able to get it tight again. I'll be left with this stripping bits. So that's all it takes for it to get loose. So that's slipping on the tightness, so all I can really do here is I think what somebody's tried to do before is I might have to go for it. So that's it. Back in the loose state again. I've got another gearbox. I'm not going to strip it just now. So the blue Loctite's just a light thread lock. It's not a heavy thread lock. That's in its loose condition. So we'll try and work a wee bit down into the thread, and then once we're happy with it, we'll lock it off. So that's it tight now. So at least we found something, but I don't think that would have I don't think that would have caused the issue that I was having. And sometimes you'll find that the one-way bearing is actually okay, and it's the shaft that's a little bit worn. So what you can do is get a little bit of emery paper, a little bit of sandpaper, and just quickly just rough it up again so it has something to grab. So you can see this is where the one-way bearing runs. You can actually feel a lip on it, to be honest with you. So yeah, that's proper worn, that's grippy, and that's smooth as a baby's backside. So I think what we'll go for, I'll try and rough it up a little bit. Give me 1 second. Okay, maybe more than a second, but I'm drinking my tea. Just a wee drink of my brew. So, just having a wee bit of look for a bit of emery paper or something. I've just asked my fabulous assistant to see if she can find me some. Dear. I'll keep talking to you guys. So in the front of the gearbox, basically, this is your forward reverse shaft. So you'll see that's that's forward, that's reverse. So that'll free off forward and engage reverse, and then when you push it back, it comes round and locks, and it's the same scenario when you pull it back to reverse. It does it on the opposite side. They're very interesting. Right. So we're still looking for that emery paper to get this shaft sanded up a little bit. Okay. The mission was not accepted, so I need to find a bit. I thought I had a piece up here, I really did. Obviously I don't. Aha. Victory is mine. So, I don't care if people don't agree with this. This is just home fixing. This isn't how you should fix your Mta4. If you're at home, you can't get the bits, then here, where did the shaft go? I know what you're thinking, sanding it's taking more off, but I'm not sanding it, I'm just roughing it up. So you can see where the bearing runs. That's, yeah, you can feel that. It's nice now. It's definitely going to grip now. So I'll go back and put these pins in. Last time these pins were both broken, but what the guy had done with the Mta4 is he had, well, basically what had happened is he had fitted an 18 tooth bell housing on it, and he had put a metal spare gear on it, so it was just absolutely smashing the gearbox. I'm quite surprised that it lasted as long as it did, to be honest. Right. You hear that little snap that won't line up until it's all pressed together nicely. And then this pin goes in last here. So that pin should be snug in there. You seeing it, yeah? Oh, too far. Should maybe use the proper tool, but this is definitely fix it at home stuff. So once you're happy with the pins central and everything, the assembly's quite tight, so tighten up that. It's tightened everything up. It's a wee bit tight, but well, it's not like rattly loose anymore. Before it was just all shingly. So basically, that's your 2-speed back together. We've checked that pin, we've checked that pin. We have checked the one-way bearing in there. The tension was fine, the gear change was fine before, so I never touched the 2-speed. We've gone over how the 2-speed works, and I've shown you probably why it was slipping. Fingers crossed. Probably that one-way bearing, but the bearing looked good and it was gripping, so hopefully it was just the shaft's been a bit worn over time. So 2-speed, if you look down in here, if you can see where the pin should locate. So that's the 2-speed. So you get it roughly lined up, drop it in, and that will sit like that. So basically it's just put the back casing back on and give it a whirl. Yeah, but I need to go and clean this casing out, and it's a bit boring for you guys. So basically, if your gearbox is slipping, it's either the bezel gears up in the back. There's slipper pads behind here as well. So you've got 6 little slipper pads. They're like flints that you would put in a lighter type thing. You can buy them actually on eBay. I've seen them. Yeah, I can't remember what they're called. No, slipper something anyway. But they're like little flints, and you put 6 of them in there, and then you put your tension on to whatever you want. So yeah, it's either those, that, or your 2-speed. And if it's just like not engaging forward reverse, they'll probably be your forward reverse hammers. So okay, that's it. Cheers.